In today's world, many people are afraid of being alone. In fact, society often promotes the idea that success and happiness are directly tied to being surrounded by people, wealth, and constant activity. However, in many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, solitude is considered not just valuable, but essential for personal growth and enlightenment. The famous spiritual leader, Mahatma Gandhi, once said, "In the midst of darkness, solitude is the light that will guide us." This profound insight captures the essence of why solitude is often praised in spiritual practices. In this video, we will take a deeper look at the transformative power of solitude and how it can be used to overcome loneliness, find inner peace, and ultimately lead to a more fulfilled life. Instead of seeing solitude as a curse, we can learn how to make it a blessing. By applying the right perspective and actions, we will explore how even well-known figures from the West, like Mahatma Gandhi, used solitude as a tool for transformation. Additionally, we'll share personal tips and stories that can help you shift your mindset and find the inner strength you need to enjoy solitude. The Western perspective on solitude. In the Western world, especially in modern times, the idea of being alone often carries a negative stigma. Many people associate loneliness with isolation, sadness, and despair. This could be because Western societies typically emphasize social connection and material success as markers of a good life. There's a constant push to be surrounded by people, to fill the silence with distractions like smartphones, entertainment, and consumerism. But is this constant social interaction really helping us grow as individuals? Just like the Buddha's experience, which we explored earlier, many great Western figures have also found power in solitude. One such figure is Mahatma Gandhi, who dedicated much of his life to practicing solitude, meditation, and introspection. Gandhi's retreat into solitude was not for escape, but for transformation. He would often spend hours in quiet reflection, seeking clarity and understanding. Gandhi believed that solitude allowed him to connect with his inner self, enabling him to make decisions that shape the future of a nation. Through his time alone, he discovered his true purpose: to fight for freedom, equality, and justice, not just for himself, but for millions of others. This is the power of solitude. It can provide clarity in a noisy world. The importance of solitude in spiritual practices. Just as Gandhi used solitude to fuel his purpose, the Buddha, too, found that retreating into solitude was essential for his own spiritual growth. The Buddha's life journey offers powerful lessons about solitude, and it's something that anyone, regardless of their religious background, can learn from. His story shows that living a life of peace, free from the constant distractions of society, is the path to spiritual awakening. The Buddha's time in the forest, away from the royal palace, taught him that indulgence in material pleasures or extreme asceticism would not bring him the inner peace he sought. His experience reveals that finding the middle path, a balanced approach to life, requires periods of reflection and solitude. Similarly, in modern times, we can see that many spiritual practices across cultures encourage solitude. Whether it's Christian monks who retreat to monasteries, or Western philosophers who seek moments of quietude to reflect on their beliefs, solitude has always been seen as a path to clarity and self-understanding. The struggle with loneliness. While solitude can be enriching, many people struggle with feelings of loneliness. They may find themselves feeling isolated or disconnected, even when surrounded by others. This feeling can create a cycle of negativity, where the more people try to avoid loneliness, the more they seem to struggle with it. For example, consider a person who moves to a new city for a job. Initially, they may feel excitement about the new opportunity. However, over time, they may begin to feel disconnected from the people around them, especially if they don't have close relationships. This loneliness may evolve into feelings of frustration or sadness, and they may start to question their decision to move. But loneliness doesn't have to be a negative experience. By adopting a different perspective, loneliness can be transformed into a positive and empowering force. The key is to change how we view being alone. Instead of seeing it as something to be avoided, we can begin to see it as an opportunity for introspection and personal growth. The power of solitude. Take the story of famous author Henry David Thoreau. Thoreau is well known for his experiment in solitude when he spent 2 years living alone in a cabin he built himself in the woods of Walden Pond. Thoreau sought solitude not to escape society, but to deepen his understanding of life, nature, and self-reliance. During his time in isolation, Thoreau wrote his famous work Walden, which reflects on the importance of simplicity, self-sufficiency, and solitude. Thoreau's experiment in living alone allowed him to engage in deep reflection and find answers to profound questions about life and society. His time alone was transformative, and through it, he discovered a deep sense of peace and connection to the natural world. In the same way, we can learn to find peace and purpose in solitude. Instead of fearing being alone, we can use it to connect with our deeper selves and reflect on what truly matters to us, transforming loneliness into empowerment. So, how do we transform loneliness into something positive? The answer lies in having a sense of purpose and direction in life. Many people experience loneliness because they feel adrift or without a clear goal. When we don't have something to strive for, loneliness can feel overwhelming. But when we have a purpose, it shifts the energy from negative to positive. Let's say someone is feeling lonely because they feel disconnected from their work or from their relationships. Instead of allowing those feelings to take over, they could use that time to reflect on what they truly want to achieve in life. Perhaps they want to learn a new skill, start a creative project, or work on their mental or physical health. By shifting the focus to these goals, they can transform their loneliness into a productive force. Consider someone who feels lonely after losing a job. Initially, they may feel defeated and disconnected. But rather than dwelling on the loss, they could use this time to reflect on what they really want to do in life. They might explore new career paths, develop a passion they've neglected, or simply take time to nurture themselves. Through this process, their loneliness turns into self-discovery and empowerment. Practical tips for embracing solitude. Set a goal or intention. Whether it's a personal or spiritual goal, having something to work towards will keep your mind focused and productive. You might set small, achievable goals that gradually build into larger ambitions. Embrace a me-time routine. Make it a habit to dedicate at least 15 to 30 minutes each day to be by yourself. During this time, avoid distractions like social media, TV, or work. Instead, sit in silence, meditate, or journal. This me time will help you connect with your inner self and foster peace. Practice self-compassion. It's normal to feel lonely at times, but it's also important to be kind to yourself during these moments. Treat yourself with the same care and understanding that you would offer a friend. Reflect on your life's purpose. Spend time contemplating what truly matters to you. Whether it's your career, relationships, or personal growth. Reconnecting with your purpose will help you see loneliness as an opportunity for growth. Solitude, when used wisely, is a powerful tool for personal growth and self-discovery. Whether you're following in the footsteps of Gandhi or Thoreau, or simply seeking clarity in your own life, solitude offers an opportunity for reflection, empowerment, and transformation. Instead of fearing loneliness, embrace it. Use it as a tool to connect with your inner self, work toward your goals, and ultimately find peace. Through this practice, you can transform loneliness into a blessing and unlock your full potential. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Buddha Motivation for more insights on personal growth, spiritual wisdom, and mindfulness. Leave a comment below about how you've used solitude in your own life. And remember, true peace begins with embracing yourself in moments of solitude.